Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Over the last 5 years since my channel started, Moorlander EDC has been a good balance of everyday items, everyday gear, but also stuff that will help you to get outside into the great green outdoors. Today we're going to be focusing a little bit more on the outside kind of part, and this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Now, I've been in talks with Snugpak about some of their jackets to get some of those tested out, but also mentioned that I'd always wanted to try hammock camping, and they said, well, we could just send you a load of gear if you like, and I was like, I'm not going to say no to that. So we've got a lot of stuff here today, from the hammocks to the tarps to the under blankets to the inner blankets to the jungle blankets. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to have a look at today. Now, I will say that I am a complete novice to hammock camping. I've been and spent a lot of time camping in the wilderness, and I've done a lot of that sort of stuff, but this is the first time that I'm doing this. So you will see lots of stuff done wrong. I'm sure it's something that I will evolve and I will learn to do better. My knot tying skills are definitely going to be tested out here today, but I have every confidence that whatever knot I can put up will hold. It's just whether I can untie it and get it back down again. But anyway, so you know, this is hopefully going to be some great entertainment, a great insight into what you can get as a solution. As a minimum solution, you could just go with the hammock and a tarp. That's really all you need. But as we're getting out into the winter, some of the under blankets, some of the other solutions to help you, to keep you warm, to help that warmth be in, or the insulation to keep that warmth in, would certainly help as well. So enough waffling from me. I've waffled way too much. Let's get my backpack off, let's get the stuff out, and let's have a look at what we've got and get it affixed to some trees. So the rucksack of choice today, and has pretty much been able to fit everything in here. This is from AKEC. I'm currently testing this out. This is the Alpha 3200. So outside, which I couldn't just fit in, I probably could have fit this in if I hadn't have got my camera equipment with me today. So we have the Snugpak Hammock Cocoon. We have the Snugpak under blanket, which, as I say, should have fit in this, but because I've had my filming equipment, couldn't just fit it in. We also have the Hammock Quilt. We have the we have the Jungle Blanket XL, and then we have the actual Jungle Hammock, and then we have the all-weather shelter, which is your tarp. As I mentioned, I am a bit of a novice to this. However, I have watched, because of how fascinated that I get about certain things, I have watched a lot of people putting this sort of stuff up. So first of all, I'm going to put up the hammock. From what I understand, and again, you know, correct me if I'm wrong on this, there's no real you need to put up the tarp first, you need to put up the hammock first. It depends on your process and depends on, I guess, whether it's raining or not first, but I'm going to do the hammock first, mainly because it's probably going to be easier to see. So I've selected some trees. There's one there, there's one there. These trees are about 6 or 7 meters apart, maybe slightly more. Which should be just right from what I understand. But when you take the Jungle Hammock out, it is in a self-contained pouch, so you can fold it straight back into there, and then you also have your lashing points as well. Now, I was a little concerned maybe about my knot tying skills, because I'd like to say that they're average. My difficulty sometimes is when I have to undo them, but what you have is these lashing points to the tree, so you have these thicker parts which will go around the tree to help to protect the tree, which I think is great, and then you have these laddered, which is just paracord with knots tied in there, so if you want to get different distances then you can do that, and then there are carabiners on here to attach that to. So let's get it attached to the tree first. So with one of your lashing points, the thick part of the webbing around the tree, and then you can use, as I mentioned, so because you have these knots, depending on the size of the tree, you can pass these through these knots to make sure that it's in the right place. I think the fun part of this will be the part where you have to try and get it so that it stays on the tree whilst you then affix it to the other tree. Here we go. First thing that we've learned is better tree selection. Have the next best trees over there. So I think my tree selection this time is better. Round 2 kind of won on this one. But from what I understand, the hammock should sit around about 30 degrees. I see a lot of people doing this. So if the line goes down like that, it's roughly 30 degrees. I think it's a little bit too acute, so I'm just gonna do a little adjustment. I think the way that they've got this ladder system on here for a novice like myself just makes it does make it a little bit easier to be able to kind of work out and to be able to do those finer adjustments. So I think that's right. Now we got some bungee, so the bungee will be able to put up the ridge line so that we can put up the mosquito net part of this. Again, from what I understand, it's useful to have it even if you're not in areas where there are lots of mosquitoes. It's just useful to have it to stop the bugs from keeping away from you at night. Okay. Engage fast forward engine. So for now, rather than actually tying them down to the trees, they have these little the pinch clasps on them. So I've just looped them in underneath where it's suspended from the tree, just to make sure that they're about right. I've also realised that the zips are on the opposite side, so let's turn around the camera ever so slightly. Okay, so here we go for the maiden voyage. This is either going to be embarrassing. Here we go. So we're in, boots off. For what I understand, you're supposed to lie kind of at an angle, which makes it, oh, it does, it makes it even flatter. Oh, I can see why people like this. This is really nice. Now at the moment, so here is the mozzie net, the fly net. There is a little thing in here, I suppose. So if you've got a torch or something, you can put your torch. There's also one here on this side as well, I guess. So whether you're a lefty or a righty, and forget where it is that you need to put it. But oh man, that is so relaxing. I could lie here all day. But no, we've still got content to make, so let's get out. That's awesome. We are slightly bottoming out, so I'm going to lift it up maybe 4 or 5 inches on each side. We're not bottoming out when I lie in it, but I am bottoming out when I'm sat on it. I reckon probably needs, again, just to guess, probably 6 to 9 inches worth of coverage from the floor, just to keep everything clear. We are going to put the under blanket on here as well, so it's probably better to have a little bit more coverage. So let's just get this lifted up, and a hiccup as well. So now that my beautiful abode, Castle Moorlander version 2.0 is fully set up, I will say, as I've mentioned a few times, I'm a complete novice at this. Apart from my poor tree selection and just getting the height about right, which I guess you probably have to just finesse with the different trees that you use, that was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be put up. If you're concerned about your knot tying ability, the ladder system that they use, very similar if you've used daisy chains whilst climbing, that sort of stuff. It's exactly the same as that. So what I'm wrestling with here, I'm sure this is actually going to be really fun trying to get this back in here. I'm glad I brought a big bag with me. So this is the under blanket. Now, one of the main things that you'll hear a lot about people camping in hammocks is the fact that they can be quite cold. So what an under blanket does, this is some thermal insulation for, as you'd expect from the name, underneath the actual hammock itself. Let's check. Yes, there is an under and an over. So looks like the harder layer is the outer layer, and then you have this layer on the inside. And then you have some bungees on each end so that you can tie this off. So where I'd been getting it wrong is I'd got these bungees and this bungee mixed up. So these are the bungees that attach to here. I've just done a simple reef knot on these. It doesn't have to be anything super special, it just has to be able to connect to this. And then these higher ones are the ones that then go behind your tree to lift the blanket up. Once I'd got my head around which direction each of them needed to go, it made sense, and the instructions are clear. I'd probably just misunderstood exactly what was needed, but essentially what you should get is you should be able to see that underneath that the blanket, the under blanket, should hang below this. So as it stands, my my actual hammock is sitting on the under blanket, so I haven't got this about right. So I'm just going to again just have a little bit more changing around with some of these so that I can get a gap in between the two. So I'm back in now. I've got the distance between the under blanket and the hammock just right. Yeah, you can feel the warmth. I think before, when I didn't have it on here, because you're so close to the air underneath, you can certainly feel it a little bit. But now that I have this on here, you can certainly tell that there are some thermal insulation kind of properties underneath, which are nice. And yeah, it fits just right. When you're getting in and out, you just have to be careful of the fact that you've got now two things that you've got to get in and out of. Although it's still one thing, you just have to make sure that the hammock is still inside the under blanket. Now I've just unpacked this off camera, but next up we have the Hammock Quilt. So this is again thermally insulated quilt that is designed to go inside the hammock. So you've got the under blanket, which will help to insulate and keep some heat in from the bottom. This will also keep some heat in from the bottom. And so the way that you've got this, so you have the head part here, and then at the bottom here there is a section that you can put your feet into to keep your feet nice and warm. So let's get this inside. And last but not least, although I suppose we've still got the top to put over the top, we have got a jungle blanket. This, they do come in two sizes. I brought the extra large out with me today, but there is the regular version, and then this is the extra large version. So as it stands, just in case we really want to make sure that we're nice and toasty in there. We have the under blanket, we then have the internal blanket, and then this is another blanket that you can put in there to make sure again that you are lovely and warm. So these again, you know, jungle blanket, nice and warm, really nice and insulated. I believe in the US, Canada, you call these wubbies, but you know, yeah, keep you nice and warm. We're kind of done, I think. I'm kind of proud of that. I genuinely am kind of proud of that. That is more fun than I was expecting, and a lot easier than I was expecting. The hammock was possibly the easiest bit to get up. The under blanket was a little bit more difficult, mainly because, like I say, I probably misunderstood the instructions, but once you've got it, it makes sense after that. The last little bit would be to set up a ridge line so that we can put our tarp on there to make sure that we are completely protected from the elements. So here we have Castle Moorlander version 2.0. My ridgeline is slightly off center, mainly because I've just got it pinned down on the one side. When I'd pull that over and got it tensioned up, it's also because rather than going diagonally, I've gone through the middle. There isn't a lashing point that does go through the middle. You have to do it diagonally, but just to show how it works there, you know. This is kind of something that I can finesse and I can work on, but I'm really chuffed with being able to get this up. So the tarp is at the back there. I've just got this folded over for now. But then we have the under blanket, which again you can see here. Got my levels just about right. Then have the hammock on the inside. So when I got my head round these, all I've done is just simple reef knots on these so that they will attach to that. It's given me plenty of distance to be able to get it kind of all in. When I've got these, I've also then got these lashed around the back of the tree, also using a simple reef knot. Again, doesn't need to be anything spectacular. These, although these are kind of load bearing, it's only load bearing for the under blanket. There should be a bit of a gap between the under blanket and the actual hammock itself. Then on the inside, let's just do these zips. On the inside we have the jungle blanket or the wubby, and then underneath that we then have the other internal blanket that has a little foot section as well. Get this zipped back up, and my shoe just fell off. Now, I will say, over the years, I've been very blessed to have had some amazing experiences through Moorlander EDC. I want to say a huge thank you to Snugpak for sending me out everything that we've seen today. They told me to put it up, have some fun with it. If I didn't enjoy it, if I thought it was crap, they've been very kind of open with me to give you my honest experience. And as a complete novice that's never done this, what we should do is rewind all of this, start it again. Every time I say complete novice, have a drink but remember to drink responsibly. It's been a lot of fun and a lot easier than I was expecting. Again, I've probably said a lot. Actually getting the hammock up was very simple, not difficult at all, especially if you've seen daisy chains and that sort of thing through climbing before. The under blanket was the harder part, but I think again it's just making sure that you follow the instructions and don't overcomplicate it for yourself. Once I'd realised that it was simpler than I was expecting it to be, that went on. And then the internal blankets is very simple, and putting the tarp up isn't too difficult. You can't generally go too wrong with tarps you've done like I have and the trees aren't too far apart. But thoroughly enjoyed today. A huge shout out and thank you to the amazing team at Snugpak. They have sent me some other gear as well. So we've got some sleeping bags that we're going to have a look through, their Elite Series sleeping bags, and they've also sent me one of their is it the Ionos? I've completely forgotten. I'll leave it here, sorry. But yes, they've also sent me one of their bivvy tents as well. Now, unfortunately, I can't sleep out in this tonight, but this is definitely going to be a part 1, and there will be a part 2 following this, where I will come out and have a night out in the forest. So yes, looking forward to that. But again, huge thank you to Snugpak, the team there is absolutely amazing. I will leave all of their links below so that you can see more from them and their social media links. I'll also leave some of my social media links here on Moorlander EDC and also my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical. But for now, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander and stay EDC. I've got to put this away now. I will say, some of those, the tolerances getting them out of the bags was ultra tight. I won't put in the swear words or the bloopers when I'm trying to get them back in there, but I guess that's gonna be fun, isn't it? So, right, let's get this stripped down and put away. Hope you all enjoyed this. It's probably a little bit longer than some content that I put out in the past. You can probably see from the smile on my face how interesting and fun this has been for me. So I hope you've enjoyed it too. See you soon.